welcome everybody. We are here. We're in a different room today. And how do you like this for a change? Isn't it good to change up?
All right.
Awesome. Well, welcome. If you are joining us online, we are happy to have you. Go ahead and post where you're from so that we see who all's joining us from all over the world. And today we're going to talk about websites. Websites are something that I'm excited to hear about because I'm going to be honest, I have one and no one's finding me through my website. That's going to change after today. So we're going to have 3 different tips, as you can see here, for increasing online impact. And I am excited to be able to welcome up, I would love some major help with this. So help me welcome up our Chief Igniter, Kary Oberbrunner.
Good to see you. Hey, it's great to be with you guys today. We have lots of gifts today. So are you guys ready for some gifts?
Yeah.
Awesome, fantastic. Hey, thanks for your flexibility today. We know that we are in a different location and normally we have the stage and lights, but this is a little bit more campfire-ish. This is good. Isn't this good? Maybe we need to ask Joel to bust out his guitar and sing us songs. No, we're kidding. So, websites. Websites are incredibly important. And someone just said recently, if you are not online with a website, you don't exist. Is that nice? Is that a nice comment? In fact, this lit up Facebook a little bit and people kind of took offense to that. And they said, well, sorry I don't matter. Sorry that God doesn't think I exist, because I don't have a website. No, we're not talking about that, but let's be honest. How many of you right now in the room, raise your hand or online if you have a website? Just raise your hand. Okay. All right. I don't want to embarrass anybody, but does anybody not have a website? Thank you. All right. A couple people. I was going to say, we can't have 100%. I mean, that would be unbelievable. What about online? Eric, I know we have people jumping in from all over the place, but what about online? Do you guys have websites as well? All right. For years, I did not have a good website. Can I be real with that? I mean, it was pretty bad. Now, we just came out with a new website. We're going to be talking about that in a moment. But I want to go over some things with you today. My name is Kary Oberbrunner, and I am the Chief Igniter, also bald dude. Okay, I guess that's becoming my new value proposition statement. But today, here's the 3 things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what makes a website easy to navigate and simple to convert. Anyone ever been to a website and you're like, I have no clue where I'm going? How many of you have been to a website and you say, I have no clue what they're selling? Ouch. Is that us? Ooh, we're going to talk about that. Would someone who doesn't know us, who just found us online, would they know what we are selling? That is a great question. We're going to solve that today. We're also going to talk about the tips for increasing your online influence and impact. How many of you think that's important? Anybody? Yeah, absolutely. And then lastly, the number 1 reason why you're not winning with your website. And yes, that's bold, but I think we need to call it what it is. How many of you would say in the room, don't worry, we're not taking pictures, nobody can see you from behind the camera, but how many of you say that you're not winning with your website? Just raise your hand. Okay, awesome, fantastic. Well, we're going to try to solve that today. First of all, I'll just give a warm greeting to anybody who's new. We have a few new people here. If you're new, just raise your hand. I won't ask you to give a speech or anything, okay? We have a realtor from Powell, Ohio, Amber, fantastic. We have Tina's friend. Is it Krista? And what's your business? Or are you in transition?
I'm very universal. I do all kinds of things. I do websites.
You do websites. I love it. She might grade me today based upon my talk. No, that's okay. That's okay. And we have Aaron over here. Just met you. This is a cool story. By the way, sometimes I ask people to come up front. Don't worry, it's all fun. It's all fun and games. But Aaron, you made my day the other day. Can I share why?
Sure.
Do you mind coming up here? Come on up here. Let's give Aaron a hand. Yeah. So Aaron made my day the other day because I pull into my kids' school, and David and I often ask ourselves, is the daily show worth it? These videos that I make, right? Is this true? Is this true? All this work about making videos, and you said, what? I don't even remember.
I really like the video where you were standing, with the building behind you.
Yeah.
Like, I pass this building every day, and this is where I had a huge failure.
A huge failure.
And it reminds you of that.
See that? That video where I blew it with a proposal because I walked in with all my manuals and I was so nervous and I thought I would give all this content and the guy's like, no, we don't want you. Okay, so rather than just drive by the building every day and say, gee, that's the place where I failed, instead I made a video about it and you found that encouraging. Have you ever failed before?
Several times.
All right. And thanks so much, Aaron, for being there. Yeah, awesome. So that was just fun. That was fun. But here's the thing. In the beginning, maybe a lot of people don't know about us, right? In the beginning. But David and I had a chat this year, and we said we need to have oversaturation in the marketplace. Is this true? Isn't this the fear? Will I annoy people? Will people think, I'm too in their face? Is this just me or is this everybody? Do we all feel like this sometimes? Yeah. Well, let's talk about that today. We're going to talk about this playing a significant role. We just finished the Ignited Souls Conference. Was that fun? Did you guys have a fun time? Those of you who were there? Yeah. So I snuck a picture in here, a few pictures actually, a video. Should we watch a little quick video? You guys want to watch a quick video? I have no idea if the sound is going to work. I should have tested this before. But Renee, I found a picture of you here. And we went all out. Is this true? How many of you online were there as well? We went all out. You guys wore dresses. I got yelled at because I didn't wear a tux. So now I'm going to wear a tux in the future. But let's watch a quick recap video and just see some of the moments from just 3 weeks ago. Let's see if it works. Or put it this way, how many people found us through a website that attended? What do you think?
Initially.
Initially? Okay. How many people bought a ticket through a website out of those people? Okay. How about everyone? Right? So very rarely did we have paper signups. Word of mouth is so important, but once the word of mouth happens, what do people usually do? They go online and try to find you, correct? What happens if you hear about someone and go online and they don't have a website? What do you think?
How do I find them?
Yeah, how do you find them? What else do you think? Credibility? What's that?
Not legit.
Not legit. Ouch. Not legit. You can hear all kinds of things about someone, but if you can't find them online, you think something's a little bit fishy. Well, we're going to talk quite a bit today about this. How many of you, let's be honest, how many of you have made $2 in the last month, at least $2 through your website? Okay. All right. Fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. 4 people today have made $2 or more from their website. That's a big step. That's a big step because here's the truth. Most websites don't even have the ability for you to pay. You realize this? Most websites do not have a shopping cart. Most websites do not have somewhere where you can engage and exchange value, which is money. How hard do you think it is to set that up on a website? What do you think?
No, it's not hard.
It's not hard?
If you get it, if you get the right stuff, you
Yeah.
can get it set up. It doesn't mean it's going to make money.
Right.
But you can get a shopping
But you
cart
can at
set
least
up.
get a shopping cart. What happens if you have a website that doesn't even have the ability to collect money? Is that a problem? Especially when we say, hey, I want to make money in my business, but there's no way that a shopping cart even exists. We're going to talk today about that. Do you realize that if you have PayPal, you can set up a button, you can set up a cart? Is this true? Okay. Jeff, how did you collect money? For what?
It was through a lead magnet.
Through a lead magnet. You want to come up here today?
Sure.
You want to? Come on up. Let's give Jeff a hand. Yeah. How many of you know what a lead magnet is? Anybody? Anybody know what a lead magnet? So, is a lead magnet cost money?
No, it's free.
A lead magnet is free.
It's free.
And should your lead magnet be something that is valuable or it feels really cheap?
No, it should add a lot of value.
It should add a lot of value. So, what was your lead magnet called?
How to redesign a website.
How to redesign a website. By the way, I was just at an event in London. You want to know what a realtor's most successful lead magnet was? Are you ready? He's in Florida. This is total contrarian. It will make no sense. But guess what his lead magnet is? It's how to sell your house on your own in Florida. Now think about that. Why in the world would this guy, who's one of the top sellers in Florida, I'll give you his name later so you can copy him, Amber, but why do you think this is converting like crazy for people to hire him then?
Because when they see all that it says.
When they see all that it says, they get to page 16 out of 667, and they say, this guy's worth it. Is this true? So a lot of times it's this contrarian flip. His was how to do what?
How to redesign a website.
How to redesign a website. Now, skeptics might say, well, Jeff, you do websites. Why in the world would you give everyone that valuable tool when it's actually going to put you out of business? But it did the opposite.
It did. I took some of my top questions I always got
Yeah.
at that website.
Sure.
Put it in this ebook.
Yeah.
And it helps. I mean, because a lot of people get into those projects and they get taken advantage
Sure,
of, and
sure.
they don't know what to do, and they go into a situation.
Okay.
So at least it educated them, so they knew. And it was very unbiased too. Like that's the point. Like,
Yeah.
it
So at
wasn't-
the end, you're like, whether you hire me or not, that's not the point, right? I mean, you're just giving value. Okay.
Yep.
Let's give Jeff a hand. Yeah. So spend 15 seconds right now. We got Susan with health coaching, right? We have Rick with pitching. I know that's one of the things you do. Dow technology, right? I mean, audio. You're doing some of that, more of them, right? You also have 7 choices for marriage.
Relationships.
Okay. Renee's Simply and Rich. Is this correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Here's the point. Spend 15 seconds and say, what could I give as a lead magnet on my website that's total contrarian? It absolutely gives value. In fact, it gives away so much value, but it works well. What do you think? Let's hear a couple ideas. What do you got? Joel.
How to create a strategic plan for your nonprofit. 8 steps to advance your mission.
Okay, come on up here, Joel. I'm not going to always call people up, so don't worry if you're like, oh, I'm not going to raise my hand because he's going to call me up here. Let's give Joel a hand, though. Yeah, Joel. So, Joel, one more time, it was about 8 steps.
8 steps to advance your mission. So how to create a strategic plan for your nonprofit.
Okay. You think nonprofits would download that thing?
Absolutely.
And once they start working, do you think some would download it and say, I'll never do business with this guy because he gave me the answers?
No.
Okay, why?
I've given that workshop numerous times over the last 4 years, and I've done 7 nonprofit strategic planning projects this year.
Yeah.
And every time they're like, love your process. We don't have the capacity to go through it ourselves.
Gotcha. So we love what you're saying, we love what you're doing, but we don't have the bandwidth to implement it. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, Dow, what do you got?
So I'm working right now on how to become a relationship samurai.
Come on up. Relationship Samurai. You think that's good branding? Do you think we could put him in a costume? No, I'm kidding.
I have a key.
Do you?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
All right. There you go.
So all of my books merge martial arts and teaching relationships.
Fantastic.
So I put my gi on, and I'm going to do 5 videos on the keys to becoming good at relationship.
Is this not good?
Yeah.
This is
And-
awesome.
Yeah.
And hopefully it does as well as Joel's does, because
Yeah.
I'm working. I got the first video done yesterday. and
Okay.
Trying to put it together. I got my landing page done.
Yeah.
So I'm using David's model to
Yeah.
kind of build out my
With
5 funnel
With
pages.
Business Academy Elite.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's where I'm working.
I love it, man.
Thanks.
You might be, we might see you on TV or something real soon. All right, listen, I went back. I don't know if you guys know about this. Does anyone know about this website? Oh, wow. I laughed this morning. I laughed yesterday. I laughed as I was planning my talk. It's called the Wayback Machine, and you can find your old websites. Oh, yes.
Really?
Oh, yes. They've been doing it since 2001. Maybe they even found ones before that. But all the people you think are so successful, write down 2 people's names that you think are, oh my gosh, they're the person in my industry that if I could be like them, and then here's the fun joke to do. You ready? Type in their URL and go back 5, 10, 15 years and see how clueless they were, and you'll feel really good about yourself. Is this true? That was supposed to be a joke. No one laughed. Okay, that's okay. All right, that's okay. You got a tough crowd. No. But as you go back and you start seeing, oh, look at all these successful people, and you go back and you say, they were very clueless when they started. They were confusing. I don't even know what they were selling, but here's the secret. They kept taking action. Does this make sense? Write this down if you like quotes. Clarity comes with action. You don't sit in a room and say, oh, I'm going to get so clear. You know, I'm just going to spend the next 2 weeks getting so clear and writing on my pieces of paper. Now, that's part of it, but you need to do what Dow is doing, which is putting a gi on and becoming the relationship samurai and testing that content. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm not going to do that. That's okay. You don't need to do that, but Dow will do it. Do you guys want to see some of my old websites?
Yeah.
Or we can skip it. We
No.
can save ourselves from the embarrassment and we can keep going. Or do you want to see it?
I saw this morning. It's funny.
You saw this morning? So this is all the way back in 2004. What were you doing in 2004?
Well, I know.
You know what you were doing in 2004? What were you doing?
Yeah, we were pastoring in the mountains of North Carolina.
You were in the mountains of North Carolina, pastoring. Okay. What else was anybody doing in 2004? What were you doing, Aaron?
Working for somebody else.
Working for somebody else, and today he owns, and I'm going to promote you, Sunlight House Painting. I love that he's here, investing in himself to get better. Yeah, Renee.
Graduating from college.
Graduating from college. At least she didn't say, I was being born, because then we would have all felt really bad, right? No, I hear you, I hear you. So, here we go. Here's the big joke. We can all laugh. I'll laugh too. But here is my brand back in 2004. That's just a bad picture. That's just, what is even happening? You know, what, I don't even know. I'll tell you what's happening.
You had hair.
I had a little hair, a little bit in 2004. I was a guy with a dream. I wanted to change the world, but I didn't know my messaging. I didn't know my website. And I went to this friend who's a branding expert. Right? And as I'm talking, he's listening, and he said, "What did you just say?" And I said, Pharisee. And he's like, "You are the recovering Pharisee." And I'm like, okay. And he said, "I'm going to design everything for you. And you're going to have a podcast called The Recovering Pharisee." And I mean, this guy was like lit up and excited. Have you ever had someone excited try to like sell you on who you are? Is this true? Joel's laughing. Does it work? Does it work to try to be somebody else? No. If you come into this room, or if you're watching us online, and by the way, where are people from? We got any UK friends here today?
We got UK, we got Canada, Chicago, Maine, Virginia, New Orleans, New York.
Awesome. Well, welcome, guys. Let's give all these people a hand for being here. So here's the point. In the absence of clarity resides confusion. In the absence of clarity resides confusion. I was confused. Now, looking back, I can look and say, that guy, whatever, messed up and clueless. But here's the thing. I believed every single cent of it. I mean, I was passionate about this. And to me, that's why I'm here today. It's not because, I tried that halfway. I'm all about passion, but you got to have direction too. You can't just be passionate and be clueless. But who's the focus with that branding? Anybody?
You are.
Me. Did you see this? So I'm the focus. What am I selling? I mean, because again, I was a pastor, but I don't care if you're a kid who's 5 years old and you want candy at the Kroger. You're selling your mom or your dad on getting candy. Everyone's a salesperson. So don't tell me, my website, I don't really sell anything. No, you do. You do. But the point is, what do you think I was selling objectively, if you just look at that?
Self-help.
Self-help? In what target audience? Believers. So church folk, people that have faith. Am I helping healthy people or wounded people? Wounded people, wounded church people that need self-help. Now let's just talk about that formula for a second. Do you think that that's a good business model?
No.
Do you think wounded church people want self-help? Most of them. No. No. So do you think I kept my day job?
Yes.
I kept my day job, absolutely. So how do we have solutions, okay? Well, listen, I believe this thing so much, I got on TV. And here's me with my little mask. Isn't this a fun little story? No memory, whatever? I didn't know what I was doing. But I was passionate, and I believed it, and I went with all my effort. And then when I failed, what do you think was the problem? Who did I blame?
The guy who did
The guy who gave me the branding?
Yeah.
Yeah? What if, and again, we're not all faith-based here, that's okay. What if I actually blamed God? Do we ever do this?
Oh, yeah.
Well, who am I even doing this for? I'm doing this for you, God, and you're not even giving me success. It's your fault. You see where we go with this? And if we're not careful, it might just be that our branding stinks. Is this true? All right, let's keep going here. I just got to take you down this super quick, then we'll get into some tips. Now, the pictures didn't even show because it was so old, but if you look here, it shows tags and keynotes, keywords. So you have keywords here like keynote, postmodern, emergent, all this stuff. Now, when you go fish for someone, this is who you attract. So let me ask you a question. Who are you attracting right now? Think about your business. Who are you attracting right now? Anybody want to be bold and say a little bit of the, and by the way, if you're thinking, well, what does he mean? Demographics are who the people are. Psychographics are what their motivations are. So we can share both of those. So demographics are like, men, women, Midwestern, European. That's all demographics. Psychographics, does anyone want to give me an example of what a psychographic is? What do you think? What's a psychographic? A person who wants something. They want, for Susan, they want to be fitter. Is that a word, fitter? Maybe? Let's make it up. Right? So who wants to share what some of the demographics are that they're attracting? Anybody? Who are you attracting?
I'm attracting men and women who are wanting to change their relationship.
Okay, is that a good thing? Based on what you know what he's selling, is that a good thing? I would say yes. But some of us are attracting the wrong people. Have you ever felt like that? I just keep attracting the wrong people. It might be your messaging. In other words, you can attract, let's face it, I could go on your Instagram account if you have one, or your Facebook wall, and I could look at your pictures and say, because your picture looks like this, you're probably attracting this. Is this true? Is this true, anybody? Anyone go on Instagram and they're friended by someone and the picture doesn't look that good, and you know what I'm talking about? And you're probably like, I know what they're selling. Or this is probably a hacked account. We can tell within microseconds what somebody's selling. So over here, I got a quote by C.S. Lewis. I'm talking about a Bible verse, all this stuff. Finally got a little bit more clarity. Okay, so here's the new logo. Do not use dark colors on your website. I looked at some of our old websites and we look like an 80s rock band. Right? I mean, if you put a wig on me, I could have been whoever. No, but look at, here I am, I'm holding a red ball of string. What am I selling, Joel? I mean, am I working at Joanne Fabrics? You see what I'm talking about? What am I selling? There's a charm, okay. I guess I'm selling, what do you call those charms that the women, Pandora? Is this So I work at Joanne Fabrics and I sell Pandora bracelets. How much money do you think I was making back then? Not much? Not much. Okay, it gets worse. It gets worse. Now I'm selling ads. For some reason, I don't know why, but people are like, we want to advertise on your website. I guess nobody was advertising on websites back then. So I charged $40 a month to put a little picture of somebody's website on there. And you know what's funny? It actually sold. So here's my sponsors for the month. And I'm selling people. Now, do you think I kept that going for a long time? No, they probably paid 1 month and they're like, this guy stinks. I'm out of here. Right?
Also, I've been told like the worst thing you want is somebody to leave your website.
Oh, there you go.
What do you say?
So Aaron says, if you have a website, you don't want people to leave your website.
Yeah, got it.
True. You see how this was, but I was trying, but I had so much passion. All right, let's keep going. It gets a little bit more worse, but not too much more. So here I am. Now I said, your website needs exposure. My kids need money for college. Does this breathe? Yeah, Joel's like shaking his head. Yeah, this is how I'm sharing this today to encourage you and to say, this is where I started. Do you think this breathes successful life coach? Joel's still laughing at me. You see what I'm talking about? But what if we went to your website or your old website and said, well, what are you selling? What are you talking about, right? Ooh, it gets a little bit uncomfortable then. But don't worry, I didn't do that. So again, now I'm advertising a guy's conference that I'm not even going to and I'm not even speaking at. I'm just clueless and throwing darts and content out there. Correct? Now I guess I'm selling yellow string. No, red string. Here's the point, guys. Now I'm talking about marriage. I should have sent them to you. The point is this. Clarity attracts, confusion repels. If you're brand new, you've heard me say this for years. If you go to your radio station in the morning, it's country. Same radio station, it's rap at noon. Same radio station, it's opera at 6 p.m. And then, oh, by the way, there's ads at 9 p.m. This is how most businesses today broadcast their social media, their channel, their messaging. And what do you think most people do? They turn them off. And they say, this person is not clear. Does anyone go on Dave Ramsey and get confused?
No.
Probably not. Anybody? You do. Oh, good. Let's talk about this, Amber.
I've been on there a little while, but there's just so much.
There's so much.
It's just, it's
Yeah.
too much.
So what do we know about Dave Ramsey?
You want you to have financial.
Financial? But you're saying, and this is good, let's be real. So, but you're saying he's kind of branched out. Doesn't he even have a real estate affiliation? So now Dave Ramsey's in real estate affiliation. This happens when a brand goes too what? Broad. And suddenly you're now selling everything. Do you guys know that Starbucks years ago was in danger? Do you remember this? You would walk into a Starbucks and you didn't know what store you were in. Why? What were they selling? Anybody? What are some things? They got into CDs, they got into sandwiches, they got into all kinds of stuff. Maybe even clothes knit by, Columbia coffee makers. I mean, who knows? But they started to lose it all. And finally, Howard Schultz walked in smelling burnt cheese. I don't know if you know this story. He smelled burnt cheese and he said, what store am I in? And I mean, he wrote a crazy email to his internal thing that got leaked. And he's like, what are we about? And it kind of sent shockwaves through stakeholders and all kinds of stuff because they thought maybe Starbucks has lost its way. And write this down. This is not my own. This is actually Gail Hyatt. But Gail Hyatt says, when you lose your way, it's because you've lost your why. When you lose your way, it's because you've lost your why. You want your website visitor to say, I know exactly why this person has this website. Can they pick that up? Can they feel that? Can they feel your why? Whether it's entertainment or whatever. So I put the date. The date is, let's go here. Finally, maybe it got cut off, but I think it's about 2010. I finally started to come up with Igniting Souls. So about 8 years ago. Now who's the focus? Other people. Do you see this? I went from recovering Pharisee to igniting souls. I went from internal to outward focused. Now, I still was messed up because I put Kary Oberbrunner, recovering Pharisee, but I was learning. I was getting there, okay? Now, here's what was my focus back then. And you can determine, I'm going to show a quick video. It's 10 seconds. See if you can pick it up in a few seconds, okay? This is what I was selling back then. Anybody, what do you think? What is that? Seminars and speaking. That was my schedule. Now do you wonder, because I was Susan's pastor back then, how did you even do your day job if you're speaking everywhere? Now you know the conflict, right? Now you know the tension that I had was I was getting booked to go speak these places and help people, but there was a conflict. But that's pretty much the only way people could buy things. Let me ask you a question. Think right now. What can people buy from you today on your website? Seriously, like if I bring my phone over here and I say I'm going to your website right now, I have cash. I got a full bag of cash. Actually, I do today. Nobody take that. That's all of our book sales. But I got a bag of cash, and let's just do this for fun. This is unplanned, but Dal, let's do this. Okay, come on up here. Okay, I don't know. David's gonna be like, "What are you doing now?" Okay. So let's just go in here, and I got more here. But what? Yeah. What here? What am I buying? What am I buying?
It's been a great time.
It was worth it for you today.
It was great day to
It was worth it. Yeah, so have fun. But what did I just buy from you?
A good marriage.
A what?
A good
Good marriage? But can I check out? Can I check out on your website? Ooh.
No.
Oh, you see that? We say, oh, but I'll talk to them. But they can call me. But they can book a consultation. Will they? Will they?
Well, apparently not, because they're not.
They're not. Okay. So, Aaron, can people buy from you?
We have, at the bottom of every page,
Yeah.
an actual place where they can book an appointment.
Okay.
They can pay us online.
They can pay you online. Okay.
So they-
Okay. But at least an action step. Even if they can't hire, Krista or Amber to be their real estate agent, can they at least call to action? At least take a step. What do you think? Anybody? You guys got a step of action? Book a complimentary coaching call, this type of thing? Anybody?
Mhm.
Rick, can people take action on your website?
No, not yet. When I said I earn money, it's all from just Amazon Books affiliate. Like
Okay.
$5 a month.
$5 a month. Okay. So what's your action item when you leave today?
I gotta change that.
You got to change that. Because I get it. Some of us are like, I wish I could make money online. And then we say, well, how can we? Even if people had a bag of cash and said, you're the best person that somebody recommended, I should hire you. But you don't have it. Imagine if you go to Walmart. You're at Walmart. You have the items. By the way, let's give away some gifts. You guys want to give away some gifts? Let's give away some gifts here. All right. So these are different gifts that we're giving away. I have no idea. Oh, yes. All right. So this is your inspiration is needed. How to maximize your potential and live an inspired life. I'm just going to give it away. If you say this book is for you and you want this book, otherwise I'm going to call a name. Does anybody want this one?
Oh,
You can even give this away as a Christmas gift. So this is Robert Christensen.
I met Robert at the conference.
You met him. Okay. Got another one here. Ooh, this one looks good as well. This is good. This is good. This is Karina Laplace, Almost. When very nearly just about to close to almost changes the very essence of who you are. It's a novel. It's an amazing author right here. Anybody want this? Guys, these are Christmas gifts as well, if you want. Anybody? Joel, I'm picking you, man. You're going to meet somebody that you need to give that to. All right, we have Spanish. Does anyone know Spanish-speaking friend, neighbor? Come on, people. You don't know any Spanish people? All right. Spanish-speaking people. Can you pronounce that? Anybody? We should have her translate. That was amazing. This is by Rosa Alina Rojas. Fantastic. All right, I feel like Santa Claus today. I need to give these out. The Decadence of Our Souls, Claudiu. This is a novel. He's from Romania originally. Fantastic book. Jeff Elder. Let's give that to him. English version. I'm going to give these away quickly here. Tina, this one's for you. Let's give that to Tina. Youpreneur. Does anyone wow. Oh my gosh. All right. We might have to, SJ, come on up. How to Live Your Passion in a House Full of Dream Killers by Laura Shortridge. Look at you.
Thank you.
We won't ask about your house though, okay? We have, this is good. I just spent time with her in London last week, one of our authors. You already have this one. Release to Roar, a true story. She literally got healed from being bedridden. Jeff, can you give this to the person next to you? Tell me your name again. Pat? Awesome. A few more. I just got a few more. We have one that's a little edgy. Does anyone like edgy? All right. Amber's like, I like edgy. No. This is Muck Off. Muck Off.
That's my redhead friend.
That is your redhead friend. Carol Lopez, Muck Off. The starting point to your happily ever after. Awesome. Okay, all right. Got just a couple more. Nanette O'Neill's. Wow. This is third in the series of 7. A Doorway Back to Forever. These are all our authors. These are all authors that have joined Author Academy Elite. all the way from Israel. If you've ever looked at your life and say, it's a whole confusing thread, how do you connect the dots? That's what she does, and that's what she teaches. Does anyone want connection? Susan, I'm going to give this one to you. Okay, Devora, awesome. This one you can give away as a gift. I only have 2 left after that. Does anyone know anyone who's struggling with caretaking for Alzheimer's? All right. Finding Mom in the Midst of Alzheimer's, a daughter's journey of healing, reconciliation, and acceptance. And that is Diane. Can you pop in a few of these as well? Awesome. This is by Mrs. International, Miss Ohio. This is Misconception, 5 Steps to Overcome Your Misconceptions and Achieve Your Own Crowning Moments. Hey. And then Kirsten Samuel, 5 Lies Moms Believe.
That's a good Christmas gift too.
This is a good Christmas gift. All right, fantastic. So let's give all these authors a hand. I don't even think any are in the room, but yeah. Okay. Here's the point. We know, do you guys know Convertkit? You guys know Convertkit? They were at our conference. They made, I think it was a $350,000 mistake. Someone check that name. Somebody check that number. If I just misquoted them, I apologize. Convertkit are my friends. Rick, you're chuckling a little bit. What mistake did they make?
They changed their name.
They changed their name, their website name and everything.
But it didn't particularly represent the company. It represented what they thought they could be in the future.
Ouch.
And all of their customers, a lot of the customers kind of rebelled against that.
Okay, so they go through a rebranding. They're a $10 million company. They say, hey, we need to rebrand our name because we need to reach more people. They call it Seva, which is a great name about selflessness, but people are like, what does that even mean? And I guess in certain cultures in India, it's actually not a good name because it means you give something away free, but it's obviously a profitable business. So what do? You just went out on all these videos, you went on all this media campaign, $350,000, and someone quote me on that because I may be wrong, but I think it was around there. And then what happens? What do you do when you make a mistake? What do? They owned it, and they said what? We're going back to our original name. What do you think people said about that company? Good for you? You think the public was actually thankful that they owned it?
Coke Classic.
What's that?
Coke Classic.
And tell me about Coke Classic.
Well, they just rebranded and did like new formulas, but people wanted the old thing, so they came up with Coke Classic, so you'd have your
Gotcha.
options.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I love it. I love it. So they owned it. They came out with it, and they said, "Listen, we need to change back." And they did, and now they're doing well. I think some of you need to go public with the fact that you've not been doing well. What do you think? Is that a risk? Is that a risk? Joel's shaking his head. Is that a risk to say, guys, if you've been following me for 5 days or 5 years, I just had an awareness. I just had clarity. Now, should you just do this off the cuff, or should you have some strategy behind it? Strategy behind it. So, Amber, what's your ideal client? Your ideal house? Whatever. You know this world better than me. Who are you like? I wish I had 2,000 of those people.
Just people that are kind and respectful.
Okay.
I don't care what the crazy
Yeah.
is, but
Kind, respectful, low maintenance, not crazy. Yeah, okay. Fantastic. And that's your real estate focus. Awesome. So what if you went public with the fact that, hey, I've been wrong, or I have a new focus. So here's what I did. I had to be bold, right? So I just found this on Facebook. January 3rd, 2010, no more Mr. Recovering Pharisee, he's dead. All right? Now, I came out with it, and I said, you know what? It was lame. I'm dead. It's over. Do you think anyone had to scratch their head and say, is he serious? I'm kind of confused. No. I mean, overnight, I said it's 5 years, but it's time to let it go. And then I say, after some soul searching, this is gone forever. And then I gave some rationale, and I said my target audience was exclusively church people. That's the only people who even knew what this term was. I think God wants me to move out. I think God wants me to go into the marketplace. And look at the results, right? Did I ever lose my faith?
No.
Did I ever, sell out?
No.
Was I attracting completely the wrong people? I think so. I think so. And so, guess what? Met David, and we started doing black websites, but we had to start somewhere. But listen, David and I, you know the story. What did I pay David in the beginning? Chicken wings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey man, here's your Buffalo Wild Wings meal for the month, right? Why was I doing that? How much was I making? I probably was gifting him chicken wings because I wasn't making anything, right? Here's the point. We started to get clearer on our offers, and the pictures didn't even show, but then you start seeing they come. What did I create on this page? I actually created something. It's subtle, it's probably not done well, but what did I finally do in 2014? Your next step, there you go. A store. So up until 2014, like Dow, people could have said, I want to hand you cash, and I'm like, well, thanks, but I don't know how to receive it. So finally, I started doing this in about 2013, 2014. Does this make sense? Joel, when did I meet you?
January of 2011.
2011, okay. So see, it started to happen. And how did you start paying me? It wasn't scalable. Notice this, folks. It's not scalable because how did I have to, tell me all the steps. First, you had to hear me what?
We talked on the phone.
But even before that. So first I had to come go speak somewhere for free. Rick, I think you got me the gig at Chaz did. And where was that called? Rev? Tech Columbus, something like that. So first of all, I speak for free. Then I do what at the end of the talk?
Hawk your books.
What's that?
Hawk your books.
I don't even know if I did. But I had a business. I said, if you want to grow, write the word leader on the back of your business card. Folks, out of 60 people, 3 people wanted to grow. Isn't that crazy? 3 people said, I want to be a leader. The other 57 crashed and burned. And here's Joel. Yeah.
You also gave me a check for $50 after that.
I gave you a check?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. I still have that check.
What?
Which I think is funny.
What did I do? I just gave you $50 because I spoke somewhere. See, I wasn't thinking right. No, I'm just kidding. But what happened? I don't even know that.
You gave me a check and you said something. Thank you for this opportunity. I know it's going to turn into business for me.
Wow. I didn't even know
You
that.
were right, but
I didn't even know that. I forgot that. That's crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. But Joel responded. Then I had to call Joel. See, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show you all the steps. And if you have 67 steps for people to give you money online, you're struggling. You're going to struggle because they're going to miss step 62. So there was speaking, then there was fill out a note card, then there was call Joel, you didn't answer live, return the phone call, we talk, then I have to meet with you, and then I have to basically give you the offer. Is that scalable? Is that a way to grow a 7-figure business? No. Folks, write this down. Shorten the steps. First, First, identify the steps. On your website, literally say, if I just came here and I didn't even know this person, I'm not myself, what steps would I have to take to engage? Number 1. Number 2, how can I reduce those steps? Folks, if you go from 8 steps to 2, you might have just made 6 figures. Is this possible? Is this possible? What do you think, Amber? Is this possible? So how many steps are there right now? A lot of steps, do you think? There's a lot of steps. Okay. Here's what I realized recently. Some people are ready to buy right away. Sometimes what we do, and this is a change David and I did. We're going to talk about this. We're going to be transparent. We used to have, well, kind of like, we're not going to name the price until somebody's in the funnel and they already get value, then we make the offer. Now on the website, we have certain people that their personality is D on the disc. D on the disc does not want to go through a 37-step funnel all the time. Sometimes they do. But what if somebody heard about you 6 times already and they're just like, I'm sold, I want to buy the dumb thing, where is it? Right? Now they can actually buy. So we've even shortened the steps on our website and said for the people who are hot, who want to go, let's shorten the steps. Okay? Buy it now. We'll talk. We'll give you the exact strategy. Because there are people, don't you think, Aaron, that they've heard from a neighbor and they've heard from a friend, and now they're like, I need help. But if it's, hey, let's talk, and hey, here's our price guide, and hey, let's give you an estimate. There's other people who are just like, come on, man. Right? It's burning the whole. You actually might lose business because you create more steps. So, this is in 2015. David, the man, creates an Igniting Souls assessment. Assessments are amazing. Folks, assessments are money in your pocket. Why? Write this down. It increases the awareness of their need. When you take Dow, Dow, are you ready? Come up here, Dow. All right, listen, I just had a thought.
All right.
Watch out. I call David all the time. I say, David, I got an idea. He says, watch out. Okay. Belts in martial arts. Oh my gosh. What if you had an assessment where you could understand the color of your relationship belt? And are you white? Is this done?
No.
Okay, all right. I
Come
don't
on.
know. All right.
I'm going to go right there
All
when we're done.
Maybe it was dumb. But you know, right, I mean, I did jiu-jitsu. There's white and there's purple.
We go white, yellow, orange, blue, green, brown, black, but I'll shorten that to white, green, brown, black.
Okay. And right, is this true? Mm-hmm. So you take the assessment, and I think men would like this especially. Maybe women would, I don't know. But guys want to know their colors, you know, what belt am I, right? And you basically have this cool assessment where they essentially get ranked. Does any man want to be a white belt in their marriage? Hey, I'm a white belt.
A lot of them are.
A lot of them are. So, you know, you ladies, you tell me. I mean, maybe this is universal, but maybe he's got a different one. Who knows? But this is your assessment. Okay. And then you have a black belt 5-day challenge. How many people are in David and I's 5-day challenge on Facebook? Does anyone know the number? 25,000. 25,000 people have said, I want to be part of an author 5-day challenge. Now, did we invest Facebook ad money? Absolutely. Have we made over $1 million from that strategy? Yes. But the point is this. You could absolutely do this. True?
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Good stuff. Okay. All right. Where are we? I don't even know. Let's keep going, though. Here we go. We finally have an assessment, and there's the website. We finally got a logo. This is when everything changed. And I know it doesn't look that impressive, but I finally came up with my value proposition statement. Folks, write this down. Write this down. If you can do this exercise, you're going to be on fire, okay? You've heard it before, but Lombardi said this is a football because people forget. I am blank. I am blank. So I am, for Amber, a real estate agent. Who knows? She could even come up with something creative, right? I am a matchmaker between houses and homeowners. She's a matchmaker. What if she redefined her entire brand, not as a realtor, but as a house matchmaker? I don't know. Maybe that's dumb. Who knows? Maybe it's good. But here's the point. I am blank who helps blank. I am blank who helps blank do or understand blank so that blank. That's called a VPS, a value proposition statement. David and I put it front and center on the website for years. True, David? And what you don't know, what do you think each one of those red things do when you click it? Wow.
Yeah.
You want something revolutionary? Take your VPS and hang products and services on each one, and you are amazing. So I am an author, links to your book. Coach, links to your coaching program. Speaker, links to your how can we get booked. Who helps men and women who struggle in their marriages discover or earn their black belt in blah, blah, blah. You see where this is going? Link, link, link. And it's got the path for your VPS. Is this helpful?
Yes.
All right. It's helpful for one person. That's good. No, so here we go. I don't know what this video is. Let's just watch it for a second. Maybe, if it works. Maybe it doesn't. But I think it's just a video that shows you the web page. Here it is. Here's the VPS. And here's where we were. Here's where we were. We were at $2. That's what I used to make. $2. Yes. I can go buy my son a candy bar. Now, we put all this stuff together, and we have programs. How many of you are part of Author Academy Elite? Raise your hand. How many of you are part of Business Academy Elite or ever have been? Okay, awesome. Here's the point. You work the system, and the system works. True? So, last month, or this month so far, boom. And I share this just so you know this stuff works. This isn't just talking. Okay, and here's where we are. We're continuing to grow. Why do I share this? Because you have a message. Dow, what if you were changing marriages across the world? Now, besides cash, what would be his real payoff? Because money's just one metric. But what if you measure it with what?
With people being happier, being fulfilled.
Let's talk about the kids.
Yeah, kids being changed.
Yeah. Do you think that that's worth it? What do you guys think? Absolutely. So here we go. We're going to go rapid style. You ready? You guys ready? Take some notes here. What problem are you solving? What problem are you solving? Do people know on your website what problem you're solving? And again, I'm picking on Amber here. But we think, oh, it's just a house. No, I'm not saying she does. But what is Amber really doing?
Creating a lifestyle.
Creating a lifestyle.
A home.
A home. Awesome. Security. True? Are these good feedback?
Absolutely.
All right. She's like, I'm glad I came. So here's our website. You ready? The new website. Boom. Igniting souls. The most powerful weapon on earth is the human soul on fire. People come to our website thinking their life's great. My life's good. I'm fine. Then they start reading and they start saying, okay, he's talking about souls on fire. Gee, I fit. Show some stats. If there's not a problem, why should they buy? That's like saying go to the doctor even though you feel good. Why? People don't see the need. So right away we educate the fact that most people are not souls on fire. True? And then what we do is we say, hey, what's the cost? Folks, we always say, what's the cost of your program? What's the cost of them not using her as an agent? What's the cost of them not hiring Dow for their marriage, relationship, black belt coaching? What's the cost of them not having Aaron do their paint? I'll tell you what it is. Aaron, you could probably say that the average person, because of the lack of equipment, so here's what I think Aaron should sell. Aaron should, what is everybody in Columbus, Ohio saying? I have no what? Time. Can anybody paint a room? I don't know, but a lot of people think they can. Can they paint it as good as him? No. But what is he actually selling? Time. So if you say, hey, Joe Smith, what's your hourly rate? and what's the hourly project that it takes for a layperson to be painting a room? Suddenly you start saying, okay, 9 hours by the time you mix the paint, you get the supplies, you run back to the hardware store 3 times. Okay, try to fit the average Powell family 9 hours on a weekend. It doesn't exist. And then you say, do you want to be your husband's hero? Do you want to be your wife's hero? Do you want the honey-do list to stop, guy or girl? See, you see where he's going with this? You tell a story about how he's actually the time man, but the medium is painting. Does it make sense? So we say, look, Carl Jung said that the most damaging thing in the life of a child is the unlived life of the parent. And then we say, look, souls on fire know these 3 things. Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? Those of you who know us, what are these 3 things on the screen?
3 books.
3 books. What are the books?
Your Secret Name.
Yeah.
Data.
That's correct.
And
T for Pat. That's right. So do you see where we're going? Is this by accident? We take the story and we tie solutions to the sales copy. Make sense? So, Aaron, if you have a special sprayer that cuts down the time, cuts down the cost, and basically is less mess, that's a framework. Everybody here has a framework. That's what makes you different. There's other relationship coaches out there, but there's no one on planet Earth that has a black belt academy for marriages. True? That's his secret sauce. That's his framework. Nobody's got Aaron's way. What was the way that we used to call it? Jared's way? Is that it? Subway? Am I just thinking weird things?
Yeah, Subway.
Jared? Okay, forget. Never mind. Mike's Subs, though, has Mike's way. I mean, Dave's way, Dave Thomas. There's literally this way of doing things. All right, check it out. This is all our model to educate people. That's all you're doing. You're raising their awareness. And we're saying, look, if you don't know who you are, why you're here, where you're going, you're not going to be a soul on fire. You're going to be like Carl Jung said, the person who lives the unlived life. Make sense? And then we say, look at this. This is really about your identity, your purpose, and your direction. Are there people walking around in life right now saying, I don't know who I am. I don't know why I'm even here. I don't know where I'm going in life. Does anybody? Now, they're not saying it, but they're saying it, right? So we all of a sudden say, hey, this is you, and guess what? We have an answer for that. You raise the level of the awareness with their need with your website, and then you show them the bridge with your products and services. Are you doing that? Is there anybody who says, you know what, I actually think we're doing pretty good? Or are you saying, you know what, I think I can make some tweaks? Is anybody going to make some tweaks in the next 7 days? Anybody? Good. Excellent. This is why we do it. This is why we didn't charge you admission to come today. Because we want you to be doing better in the world. If there are better marriages, that's going to help me. Right? If there's better websites, Jeff, that's going to help us. If there's better people feeling like, I have a place I want to sit in and call my home, I'm not embarrassed to bring neighbors over, that's a good thing. All right. So number 1, I told you what makes a website easy to navigate and convert. And what it is, I'll tell you the answer one more time. Solve a problem. Solve a problem. People buy solutions, to quote my business partner David in the back. People buy solutions. And if you're not clear on what your solution is, don't expect people to pay their hard-earned money for it. True? All right, number 2. Here we go. 3 tips for increasing your online influence, impact, and income. Should we skip this or do you want it?
Do it.
All right, okay. Susan's on fire back there. So, we just went through a website rebranding. Did you know that? I didn't even make an announcement, really. I didn't even tell people. We're going to. But we came out last spring with a logo. Does anyone remember voting on my logo?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow. Just have, if you ever want to fire people up, just have them vote for something. Because people voted. But here's the 3 tips. You ready for the 3 tips? We'll talk about the website in a moment. But 3 tips. Number 1, no. You guys know this. No, like and trust. No, like and trust. But I'm going to tell you it in a different way. People are saying, do I know Pat? Do I know Renee? Do I know Joel? David, I'm gonna just give a shout out here. Do you and I spend money invest? Yeah, we do. Do we invest money? Do we invest money with people watching our videos, and we have no call to action and no sale at the end? Okay, did you catch that? David and I invest money on Facebook over and over again with people watching our videos. You saw one of them. You probably never would have seen that video if it was not paid. Now, what do you think David does with all those video views? Do we say, oh, cool, 250,000 people saw me, a bald dude, standing in front of a building that I failed at?
He tracks them, he figures out which ones work, which ones don't.
He tracks them. David, correct me if I'm wrong, you pixel and you build a custom audience around these video views so that when we go to sell something, we're not selling to the 4th largest planet in the world, which is Facebook. We're now selling to who? Who do you think? People who are interested in people who are aware, and they've seen me. They know me. So what we do, this is a long game. Facebook will charge you an arm and a leg if you say, you don't know me, you're cold traffic, and here's my webinar. Your dollars per click is going to go way up. But if you do, we teach this all in Business Academy Elite and FireRate. But if you sell your webinar to a custom audience that already says, I saw that guy, I saw that video, he didn't ask for any money, he helped me, he gave me help, then what do you think the cost per click does? Goes way down. So it's a long game strategy. Does anybody have any questions about that before we start? I'm trying to show you a principle that says that if you spend your time on people that know you, you're going to have more success. Anyone have any questions on this? Okay. Number 2. Do I like this person? Do I like this person? What do you think I did in 2018? Some of you know this. Because I'm a recovering people pleaser. I could have been the recovering people pleaser podcast. All right? I could have done that. But I used to care a lot if everybody on planet Earth liked me. Now, I'm not trying to be an idiot or a jerk or anything like that, but do you think I care as much that everybody on planet Earth is okay with me? First of all, I think it's really arrogant to think anyone on planet Earth is even thinking about me. I'm just being real. If we think, oh my gosh, I'm going to put out a video, and what if people laugh at me and my gi? You know what? And I'm just being real, right? People need to know you. And if we think, well, you know, everyone's going to be around dinner and they're going to pull up my gi video and they're going to laugh at the family's going to laugh at me at their kitchen table, good. Absolutely. That's good because you're at least being talked about, right? So you got to say, are people liking me? How do people like you? I think people like valuable people. I could list names here, which I definitely could, for the online space, and they would immediately polarize people. If I said, what about this person? You would say, I hate that person, or I love that person. Think about politicians. I mean, Darren Hardy one time said this, back when Obama got voted in, years ago. Darren Hardy said, I could not be president of the United States of America. You know why? Because 51% of the population like me, and 49% want to kill me. And he said, I could not be president because I am not okay with that many people not liking me. Ouch. Think about that. Maybe is anyone here playing too small? Anybody playing too safe? Okay, just checking. And then trust. Can I trust this person? Do I trust this person? Do they say what they're going to do? Do they do what they're going to say? Vice versa, okay? I look for ways that we can build trust every day in the tribe. You guys know this? Those of you who are part of the tribe, part of the private Facebook group? Don't you think that that is a goal David and I have? Is how can we build trust? How can we build trust? How can we build trust? If you over-deliver with everything you do, and when you fail, you admit it, and when you make a mistake, you own it, and you fix it fast, that builds trust. Nobody wants anybody to bat 1,000, but they want people who say, you know what, gee, I didn't turn in your paperwork correctly, and it didn't get filed right, and I apologize, and here's a $5 Starbucks gift card, go have a drink, I apologize. I mean, what do you think these little things do? They're like, wow, that person owns it. You know, on Facebook this week I put out there about leaders, remember this? And I said, do you agree or disagree? And I said that leaders should take responsibility for everything. That was interesting. That was a good discussion. But what do you think? You think if you're the leader, you should take responsibility for everything? Yeah? Interesting conversation. All right, let's keep rolling here. So, the 3 ways to increase your influence, impact, and income is to get more people to know you, get more people to like you, and get more people to trust you. That's how you're going to move the needle. And you might say, well, how do you do that, Kary? Give away your best stuff for free. Give away your best stuff for free. There are 3 ways to get a platform. You guys know me, if you've hung out with me, you know I teach this all the time. Build it, buy it, and borrow it. Build it takes a ton of time. Start your own podcast, start your own vlog, start your own channel. Building it is great, but it takes time. Buying it costs money, but borrowing it is a great strategy. It takes creativity. How many of you have found us, David and I, through somebody else's platform? Anybody? At the conference, we got a lot of people who said, we found out about you from Dan Miller. We found out about you from you on this interview. We found out, that's borrowing other people's platforms. Awesome. All right, a couple more things. The number 1 reason, you want to know this? Yes. The number 1 reason, clarity. You agree? By the way, did anyone catch what I sold, what I sell on my BPS? You think it's igniting souls, right? I mean, you think Kary Oberbrunner igniting souls, maybe, but what do you think we actually sell? It's on the screen. Clarity.
Integrity?
Clarity. Integrity might be how we deliver it, but we say, I'm an author, coach, and speaker who helps people clarify, boom, 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 boom. This is the products, this is the service, but we are really about people buying clarity. Okay? So, came out with the logo, and guess what this nice, kind lady, who I blocked out her name, said? You ready? You ready? She said, by the way, there's Renee and some other nice people up there. Then you have this lady. That's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Breathe easy. I followed you since 2006. I've admired your willingness to publicly grow and evolve on your journey, ultimately helping others on theirs. So I'll honor your work by saying that none of your branding or logos are the right choice. Not one. They put you at the forefront in too bold of type while diminishing the very heart of your message to the point of rendering it all but invisible. Of course, this is my opinion, and we know what they say about those, but I personally would hate to see a brand so blatantly about the servant and so less about the potential souls you wish to ignite. Think she's got a view, right? So what do you think? Am I just like, oh, she's clueless? What do you think? What do you think about all this? What if you got that email? I've been following you for 12 years, and you're missing it.
It would almost make you second guess it.
Okay?
Someone has been watching it.
Okay. Write this down. Not everyone who starts with you will finish with you. Ouch. Not everybody who starts with you will finish with you. Is this true? Do I disrespect her? Do I think less of her? Do I think, no, she took the time to say something. Awesome. No, most people didn't. I mean, she's fantastic. Hopefully I replied later on after I screenshotted it and said, hey, thank you for your feedback. So no, you don't want to be cavalier and an idiot and arrogant, but the reality is that sometimes you need to go a new direction. Is this true? Sometimes you need to emerge and come with a new direction, and so that's what we did. So clarity comes with coaching. Clarity comes with coaching. I got to wrap this up here in about 10 minutes, but the point is this: our students are getting awesome results. Here's Sonia Jones. Does anyone know Sonia? Yeah. Sonia launched her book last week, and she just sent us a message. Book sales are going great. Props to Kary and the team for a process that works so well. I recouped my $5,000 fee. That's what Author Academy Elite is, and it includes 18 months of coaching, all your books, all your training, as well as my bulk order fee. So she went nuts. She bought 2,000 copies, and that's a big commitment. All right, we don't make a dime of that. She buys in that print cost. She says, I've got nothing but positive things to say, and then she says, I'll be off the grid in a little bit. But the point is this, like, she followed the system, and in 1 week, you guys know how much the average traditionally published book sells in a year? 250 copies. Sonia crushed it in week 1, right? Pat Luce says, I went to the conference last week, and here's the bump in my sales. And you see he was like at the millions. And boom! I mean, there's one at the top, right? In other words, clarity comes with coaching. But does it stop there? No, because here's Erica's post. And who's in line for coaching? Anybody. Sonia and April. In other words, it's a process. Sonia says, but I want more clarity, but I want to get bigger, but I want to reach more people. She's in line already for next week's call for the coaching. I love that. And then here's another guy who says, I just had $1,200 delivered in my bank account. Why? Because of vendors from his website. So David teaches this on Business Academy Elite. On your website, form partnerships with other people. So maybe paint, or whatever, or brushes, or other things that you say, you know what, I could actually send people them, and they could send people, and we could track the links, and if they buy from me, then I get a commission. Here he is, boom, logs in, and it happens. So these are just a few of the programs that we have, and Eric, if you could put links in, but if anybody's here today and they're saying, you know what, I want to learn more about my online business. I want to learn more about optimizing it. I tell people all the time, the goal of David and I is that our programs are free. Now, what do I mean by that? That they pay for themselves. Does that make sense? We don't want to sell people programs where it's like, oh, good luck. We got money from you and you don't know how to do anything. The goal of our programs is that you, just like Pat, Son, all these other people, you look at the end and say, boom, made that back, made that back. I feel good when people 10x their investment. I mean, that's exciting to me. So, Erica, if you could pop in some of those links, but right now we have Author Academy Elite open. It closes tomorrow. David, I have not been checking my phone. I don't know if anyone's registered, even while we've been here. One person, okay. So we basically started with 50, and now we're in the 40s, and we just have a few spots left. The ladies are doing the interviews today, but if you're like, hey, I want to write a book, go ahead, apply, or talk with us here if you're in the room. Business Academy Elite, it's a great course. It's a weekly business coaching experience with modules. We can talk more about that later. And then David and I just released Firing, which is our premium mastermind, and it's starting on Monday. And that's a way that we're actually going to meet with you and help you build some of this stuff out yourself through live gatherings. So clarity comes with action, And you know what's interesting? This is a real shot from the other day. So we had a fireside chat, and you're closed out. Can you see how many pages that is?
It's like
2. I'll solve it for you. It's 2 pages. So it's 2 pages, and you count how many are there, and then you flip the page and you count how many are there. These are the people who said, after watching a master class for it to become an author, after scheduling a one-on-one interview, after being in the funnel, these are people who showed up and said, you know what, and Deborah's there and Daphne because they're doing the interviews, and Lisa. But the point is this, these are the people who said, something in me wants to write a book. And what's awesome is during this fireside chat, literally I hung up the phone, and in 10 of the spots, people joined. So if you're not using this strategy, let me teach you guys a little something, okay? Have your own group teaching. So Amber could actually say on Facebook, I'm just picking on you because we talked before, but you could say, you could do these little trainings for free. Whether someone just bought a house, right? Even if so, I mean, that's contrarian. Somebody just bought a house, why would I help them? Because everyone's asking them at this point, well, how was the process? And if it stunk, but you come along and help them, they'll be like, but this other lady, Amber, just showed up, and you should, you know, this is the time. Think contrarian. When's the time to sell your painting? Maybe with a guy who just had a painting experience. Because now they're like, that was the worst thing, and we're never going to use this guy again. But our garage needs to be painted. What's that? Figure out why. But try to do some contrarian things. But anyways, we did a fireside chat, and sure enough, I sit there and I coach people. I coach people for 2 hours straight in a live coaching, and anybody can ask questions. And plenty of people don't buy. But the people who do are like, wow, thank you, that was amazing, that was a sample, and now I want more, okay? So any other questions that you guys have in our last few minutes? Does anybody have any other questions? Go ahead, raise your hand if you do. I want to help you. I want to help answer any questions. Here's the new website, and Joel will get to you. Here's the new website. If you could drop it in. Right now, right now Jake, our videographer, is building the banner because this is just stock photo. So that's why I kind of haven't announced it yet. But you can look, there's a strategy for why we put what we did in the order we did. And as you scroll down, here's something I see very little used, it's called the junk drawer. It's not a nice name, okay, but it's called the junk drawer. These are all the things that most people put at the top of their website, okay? So I spent a lot of time thinking, what are things that are important, but will lead people in confusing ways if we show it to them in the beginning. So we have the blog. Who puts their blog in the junk drawer? Me. That's weird. But I don't want them to go off in some never land and start going blog and click, right? The Guild, that's our editing service. Master coaches, Joel's part of that. Teams, firing, editors, tools, members, privacy terms, contract, and subscribe. The junk drawer. These are all the things that we think are so important. But this is so I can meet somebody down and they talk to me about firing, and I'm like, oh, just go to the page and scroll all the way at the bottom and click it. I still want people to find it, but they don't need to find it in the beginning. Make sense? Joel, you had a question.
Yeah, so for someone who's very early on in this process,
yeah,
and you covered a lot, what's the next best step after doing?
Yeah. Next best step, you ready? Quick tools. I'm going to highlight someone in the room here. Who is going to be? So we spent a lot of time saying, what are the tools? Because we get asked all the time. I see this, I see that. What should I buy? Should I subscribe to that? Go to KaryOberbrunner.com/tools. Erica, if you can put that there. But we have people here, like Jeff. Let's give Jeff a hand. Boom. Yeah. So these are people that we know. These are people that we like. These are people that we trust. These are people we've given projects to and they've delivered. And we say, great, you should use them. Now, if they don't deliver, we say you're off the list. But these are all products and services that we use personally, and it's got your business in a box. Now, you don't need to buy everything, but you go there and you say, oh, how did Kary do that little thing where he recorded his screen? Oh, that's called screencasting. You know what? I'm gonna click this and get my free trial. We test the tools out. What about live streaming? What about webinar? What about email provider? These are all things for online business building that we get asked all the time. And we even have website people that we suggest. Payments. Some of you said I don't have a way to get cash. Right here. Okay? You gotta get ready, you gotta get set. And here's Joel's program. And here's the Samuel's program about how to record your audiobook. And here's website design. I mean, it's all there, and you can just click it. Joel, the number one thing I think people should do in the next 2 hours is write out their VPS. I mean, that would be success. If you can say, I am blank who helps blank do and understand blank so that blank, wow. Because then your next step is going to be, what products and services can I tie around that? Great question. Renee, go for it.
You have KaryOberbrunner.com, which is your own name.
My own name.
So why do you choose that over using Igniting Souls? Or do you do a redirect, and which should be the prominent one?
Yeah. So, does anybody know Ransomed Heart Ministries? Okay, you do. So out of a room of however many are here, 2 people know. Okay. Who's the person behind it? John Eldridge, and he was squinting, so he didn't know. So one person, that's okay. So one person in the room knows what another dude's name is for his ministry or brand or whatever. Here's the point. Write down this article, it's fantastic. It's Tom Peters, and he wrote this article in 1997, and it was called The Brand Called You. We live in a day and age where you are literally your brand. Tom Peters says back in this article, the day's gonna come where someone's gonna have their own website. And everyone's like, no. The days, think of 19, he signs his name by saying, Tom Peters at AOL.com, author of the CD-ROM, blank, blank title. So this is Tom Peters, this futurist guy who peeks over the edge, and you read it, and he nailed it over 21 years ago. But that's why I do it, because I meet people. I don't go to a conference in London and say, hi, my name's Igniting Souls. Good to see you. Right? People want people. And so I always think it should be your name, because I meet Renee. Renee's fantastic. I recommend Renee. Okay? Even CEOs of big companies have now kind of hired brand agencies to personalize the CEO. I could name names. Dave, we just said Dave Ramsey. Does anyone know Dave Ramsey's business name?
Financial Peace University.
No. Lampo. You see what I'm saying? Brand confusion. Oh, I'm Lampo. You should go to Lampo. What? What are you talking about? Dave Ramsey. So I can go all day long on this, but I'm going to say stop hiding. Not saying Mr. Renee, she's rocking it. But everybody else, stop hiding behind your business name, behind your mission name. And yeah, the lady, fine, she's not happy with me because I'm the brand now. But I always was the brand, and it was very confusing when I said, go to redeemtheday.org. And I couldn't even find it. I tried to find the old ones. They wouldn't even bring it up, Because it's like, who did I meet? What was that name? Seize the Day? Redeem the Day? What? Go ahead.
So, I feel like there's a place where you need an option.
Okay.
So, and here's why. Dow Tippett can sometimes be misspelled a lot of different ways. So I also have 7 daily choices.
Great.
But it goes to Dow Tippett.
Excellent.
Kary Newhoff
has
Lead Like Never Before.
Yeah.
Because it's Kary N-E-I-U.
Yeah.
So
check it out. Your secret name, learn more, yoursecretname.com. Okay? Right. You scroll down here, deeper path, paperpathbook.com. All of our brands have their own website, which I don't think is always the wisest thing, because you don't have iPad.com, AppleWatch.com. You have Apple. But David and I have created funnels and systems and teams and certifications around each brand. That there's a reason why we do that. But I'm all for it to have.
I mean, they both go to the same spot.
Yeah.
But it gives me an option if someone can't spell Dow.
Sure. Yeah, and if your name's taken, I'm not saying, oh, you're in trouble. I mean, you can have SusanZartmanGroup.com, SusanZartmanCoach.com. It's not like, oh, my name's taken, I'm clueless. Folks, it was awesome to be with you today. Thanks for joining us online. If you need something, reach out to us, because today was an event, and the best thing I can do is motivate you. I can't mature you. Processes mature, events motivate, and events are calendar issues, processes are culture issues. You got a good workout today, but if you just work out once a year, you're in trouble. So engage in one of our programs. We'd love to help you, and thanks for coming, everybody.